My name is Usha Rani. I am studying MSc Nursing first year at Government College of Nursing, Kannur. My specialty is community health nursing. Today I am presenting community health topic under the chapter Information, Education and Communication. Today my topic is telemedicine and telenursing. Nowadays it is very popular because of this. Now our government also introduced YSR telemedicine. First of all, we will see that the term telemedicine has been derived from the Greek word tele meaning at a distance and from the Latin word medere that meaning is healing. Though it is initially considered futuristic and experimental, this is first coined by Thomas in 1970. What is the major goal means? The major goal of telemedicine is to eliminate unnecessary traveling of patients and their experts. We are limiting the unnecessary traveling of patients from one place to other place to the hospitals, and they have to the patients are accompanied by the other persons also. Other persons' work is also disturbed. To prevent that, our government is introduced telemedicine. And telemedicine is a process by which a patient is able to communicate his problems to a doctor many miles away and receive necessary and relevant information. We'll see the what is the definition. Definition of telemedicine is can be defined as the use of modern information technology, especially two-way interactive audio and both video, telecommunications, computers and telemetry to deliver health services to remote patients and to facilitate information exchange between primary care physicians and specialists at some distance from each other through the audio and video and through the telecommunication and computers, telemetry will give the telemedicine to the patients, to remote patients. That is about the telemedicine. It is indicating, the definition is indicating that the information technology, we are using modern information technology through audio and video telecommunications and computers. Through that, we are giving primary care to the patients and we are taking advice from the specialist also. And telemedicine is the use of medical information exchanged from one side to another via electronic communication for health and education of the patient or healthcare provider and for the purpose of improving patient care. Both, according to American Telemedicine Association, these people are telling that the exchange of information from one person to other person, that is through the patients and for the patients and also as well as the healthcare provider where the patient is there. And according to WHO, WHO told that telemedicine is the delivery of healthcare services where distance is a critical factor by all healthcare professionals using information and communication technology for the exchange of valid information for both diagnosis and treatment and also prevention of disease and injuries. And it is useful for the research and continuing education of healthcare providers and in all the interest of advancing the health of individual and their community. That's this according to WHO they told that this is the information and the communication is the exchange of information for the diagnosis and treatment and prevention of the diseases and the injuries and it also useful for the research purpose and for the education program also for the healthcare providers. This is useful. This telemedicine useful for the continuing education also. Now we'll see about the history of telemedicine. In the year 1900s, people living in remote areas in Australia used two-way radios. That is, they introduced through the radios they have introduced this telemedicine. But the transmission system is poor. That's why they failed in this telemedicine. And in 1906, ECG transmission were over telephone lines. And in 1920s, help was ships. And where there is any problem in the ships and medical emergencies, they used this telemedicine. And in 1955, telepsychiatry, Nebraska Psychiatric Institute. And 1967, Massachusetts General Hospital introduced telemedicine. In 1971, Japan also introduced this telemedicine through fax transmission and telephone line for voice. And then growth of telemedicine applications. How will introducement in India also? When is the introducement? In 1996 they introduced in Noida, Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. And 1999 AIIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi also introduced telemedicine. In 2000 ISRO at Apollo Hospital, Aragonda introduced this telemedicine. In 2001, and again they used this network between three institutions together. They communicated and given treatment. AIIMS New Delhi and in Lucknow and also PGH Chandigarh. These three are unitedly formulated the telemedicine network. And 2001 and 2003 uh, and they developed major medical institutions through telemedicine activities. And 2003 and 4, ISRO also again tele-education they have introduced, tele-consultation services. And 2005 multi-purpose health female workers Indian task force for telemedicine. Uh, they introduced like this, and 2010 National Medical College Network project conceived by Government of India. And 2012 EMR and EHS standards by expert group of multi-purpose health female workers. And 2013 initiation of process of establishment of NMCN with open tender basis. And the project of teleconsultation, three sites PHC, CHC as a telemedicine center, each block have been connected with one medical college in the states for the telemedicine. They introduced in 2013 in primary health centers and community health centers, and they have established new posts also for this purpose. And the growth of telemedicine applications and primary health care and specialist referral services, remote patient monitoring, consumer medical and health information, medical education, that is in 2001 teleradiology, that is through the still images, and 2002 telecardiology, that is moving images, 2003 telepathology, teleophthalmology, and 2009 teleoncology, telesurgery, and 2005 telehealth augmentation, 2006 telemedicine for primary health care. What are the objectives of telemedicine? To provide quality care to the people who are residing in remotest areas and to reduce the care of healthcare services and improve monitoring facilities at rural areas. And also it can play a vital role in anticipating epidemics, and it is an essential tool in real-time monitoring of diseases locally and globally. It also helps in interventional planning, assessment of various interventional strategies and their effectiveness. There are different types of telemedicine. One is real time and other one is store and forward. First we discuss about the real time synchronous telemedicine. Real time medicine, in the name itself it is indicating it is a simple telephone call or as complex as robotic surgery. It requires the presence of both parties at the same time and a communication link between them that allows a real-time interaction to take place. Both parts, both the patient and the doctor, should be available at the same time. Like video conferencing equipment is one of the most common forms of technologies used in synchronous telemedicine. Nowadays, through internet, where they are, the people who are living in America and they are communicating with the people in the India. They are through their by seeing them, they are communicating. Like that only, patients are also communicating what are the complaints, and the doctor will respond to the whatever the according to their signs and symptoms they will give the treatment. Some of the specialties that conducive to this kind of consultation include both psychiatry, family practice, internal medicine, rehabilitation, pediatrics, neurology, and pharmacy. Next one is first one is real time telemedicine, and then other one is store and forward telemedicine. In this, both parties are not at the same time. The information what is there, they will record, and then the other person who is taking care or doctors or specialist, they will see later and they will give the treatment. That this is store and forward telemedicine involves acquiring medical data like medical images, biosignals, and transmitting this data to the doctor or medical specialist at convenient time for assessment offline. It does not require the presence of both parties at the same time. As I told, both parties are not required at the same time. And once recorded, then they will see in the offline and they will give treatment and they will forward that treatment. What are the departments used in this method are dermatology, radiology, and pathology are the common specialties that are conductive to asynchronous telemedicine. Because this dermatology is not emergency, and what are the reports tests the result, they will send it to the doctor and then they will see according to their message, they will give the treatment. And what are the benefits? What are the benefits of telemedicine? First of all, as we know, that is reduction in travel to distant referral medical centers, because the traveling is reduced. If there is any problem, means you have to go immediately rush to the hospital, but there is not necessary. And the reduction in cost of care also. If we once we go outside, then the money will expend. Otherwise, if we go here only and get treatment, means the cost of care also reduced, and better diagnosis of diseases due to availability of specialist opinions. Because there are, if we once we get give this information, means they will discuss the other doctors also. There will be one team. They will discuss and they will diagnose correctly, and increased and better monitoring of chronic diseases. Chronic diseases means they cannot stay at the hospital continuously. That's why through this it is useful for monitoring of chronic cases. And there is some more benefits are also there. Reduce hospitalization and save time of healthcare provider. Provide patient satisfaction. Reduce rush to medical facilities in cities, and also there will be rushing and waiting also will be reduced. And improving monitoring facilities at rural centers. Increase reliance on government healthcare system. And also there are some more benefits are also there. Using telemedicine in peripheral health setups can significantly reduce the time and cost of patients' transportation, monitoring home care and ambulatory monitoring, easy access to remote areas, and critical care monitoring where is not possible to transfer the patient, a tool for public awareness, a tool for disaster management, and also we'll get second opinion and complex interpretations. Then limitations of telemedicine. There are some disadvantages are also there. There is the disadvantages are the overall cost of telecommunication system is high, because the systems, all the computers and video conference material and the personnel, and also uh, whether the persons are computer trained or not, and also what is the equipment used, and internet also some places there will be no internet, and these are the some of the disadvantages. And telemedicine might take longer time, it takes sometimes it takes long time, and low quality of health informatic records like x-ray or other images, there is no chance of records. And the legal and ethical complications may arise. Sometimes if they don't communicate properly, means then they will get improper treatment, and shortage of computer trained healthcare professionals. The uneducated and poorly educated people cannot be assessed this. All type of care cannot be provided in this method. And what is then we will see about the telenursing also. Telenursing refers to the use of telecommunication and information technology for providing nursing services in healthcare whenever a large physical distance between patients and nurse or between a number of persons. In sometimes there is overloading, the number of patients means there is no chance to take care. That's why in this case they will use the telenursing. And as I feel it is a part of telehealth and has many points of contacts with other medical and non-medical applications such as telediagnosis and teleconsultation and telemonitoring. And telenursing is achieving a large rate of growth in many countries due to several factors such as an increase in the number of aging and chronically ill population, the increase in coverage of healthcare to distant, rural, small or sparsely populated regions. And one of the most distinctive telenursing application in home care of patients who are immobilized or live in remote areas, citizens who have chronic ailments such as disabling diseases, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease. Because these patients need care continuously. That's why if they are stay at home also, if there are any doubts, they can contact to the nurse and how to they will take care in the home itself. There are some legal and ethical issues are there. Telenursing is fraught with legal, ethical and regulatory issues as it happens with telehealth as a whole. Legal issues such as accountability and malpractice, etc. Because some people are not trained also, they will give some advices and there is a chance of complications. That's why there are some legal and ethical issues. In addition, there are many considerations related to patients' confidentiality and safety of clinical data. Now we conclude this one. The telemedicine is an upcoming field in health science, assisting out of the effective fusion of medical science. It includes the diagnosis, treatments, monitoring, and education of patients using systems. And a common application of telenursing is also used by call centers operated by managed care organizations, which are staffed by registered nurses who act as case managers. And telenursing can also involve other activities such as patient teleconsultations, examination of results of medical tests, and assistance to physicians in the implementation of medical treatment protocols. Now, that is about telemedicine. What is the telemedicine definition and types of telemedicine, and what are the advantages and disadvantages? That's all about telemedicine. Thank you.